All right, so this week in Pax Day, we got no new information from the developers, but that is because they are hard at work already on verse 6, the Homestead update, and I am very excited to talk about all of the things that I think are going to be in it and the things that I don't think will be in it. So we're going to be talking about the roadmap today. I hope that excites everyone. It does me. So hello and welcome back, all of you amazingly professional consumers of Pax Day and Pax Day related content out there. I'm Altari, the professional gamer, and this is another episode of the Pax Friday Review, the show where we talk about all the fun, interesting, new, and exciting information that has come out for the last week. And in this case, no new information has come out, but there is still some exciting information to talk about, and that is verse 6, the next major update coming out for Pax Day. This is verse 6, the Homestead patch. There's going to be a lot of cool things that are coming in this patch, and honestly, I think it's going to be just as exciting, if not more exciting, than what's coming in verse 7 with alliances, and I am ready to dig into it. But before we do, I just want to say thank you for all of our channel members, especially the ones who are financially supporting the channel. We couldn't do anything that we're doing on this channel without your support, so thank you so much. And if you want to help this video out, the best thing you can do is just go and hit the like button. And honestly, if you really like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button so that you can get notified whenever new videos come out. We have a goal for 2026 where we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers on the channel. I think we can do it. We're getting close to halfway there, so we'll just need to get a little bit more and we'll be well underway. But with that being said, also share this video with any of your friends who are looking to stay up to date with all things Pax Day. But we're going to just go ahead and hop into it. Normally we would hop over to the Discord or the official website, but like I said, no new information came out this week. So instead, we're going to be talking about the roadmap. Now, on the roadmap, we got kind of a teaser. We knew that Pax Day 1.0 came out. Then we had the Battle for Lyonesse, which was verse 5. Then we had the Yule event 2026 rang in the new year. Then we got our master crafting update. And then we had another minor update. And that was the most recent minor update, which included a lot of just process improvements, a lot of quality of life features and updates, including the UI on the maps, as well as being able to stow stuff away on our backs, as well as many other things. Really awesome redo of the physics calculations associated with all of the buildings. And there's a reason, I believe, for that and why it needed to come in now before verse 6. And that's ultimately what we're going to be talking about today. Now, if you look on the roadmap, there is kind of a short distance between the minor update and verse 6 Homestead, and then a larger distance there between verse 6 and the next minor update, and then another short one for alliances. Now, they don't give us the exact time frames here, but if you're looking at the distance from the minor update to the Homestead update, it is going to be about a third of the size of the distance from master crafting to the last minor update, which was the maps and revisions that we got about 2-3 weeks ago. And the distance from the master crafting update, which came out in February, that would mean that it's probably going to be about a month, maybe a month and a half before we start seeing the Homestead verse show up on the test server. So we're going to start getting a lot of new information coming out for it. Now, with the Homestead update, what do we believe and what do we know is coming in? And I, on this channel, I really like to focus on the what we know. I don't like to assume anything in particular or create something and spread nothingness into the world. So we're going to focus in on the things that we know. Now, with the last minor update, we did get improvements to the physics engine, which has drastically improved the performance on a lot of people's rigs, especially in highly dense areas with a lot of buildings. I know I have a little laptop that I use when I'm traveling, and before it was getting maybe 25 frames to 30 frames in the Golden City, and now it's getting 65 to 80 depending on where I'm looking. So that's actually an incredible improvement, and nothing really changed on the laptop. I'm pointing like you can see it, but there is a laptop over here, trust me. And with that being said, The big thing that I believe is coming in the Homestead update is something that they've mentioned a couple of times now in a couple of posts, and that is the comfort system. And I call it a comfort system because that's what it was called in Valheim. And that was the literal comfort system in Valheim, where you would be able to go and put different items and different crafting tables and different things inside of a building. And as long as it was within a certain proximity of, like, for example, a crafting bench, then it would allow you to craft better things. But then also, depending on the quality of the items that you're placed inside of a room, it would give you a comfort bonus. And that comfort would give you higher health. It would give you benefits to experience and other things. And the devs have come out and said multiple times that there's going to be something like this comfort system from Valheim in Pax Dei. The Homestead Verse would be the perfect place for us to really talk about that coming into existence. And we already know there's going to be a lot of new set pieces coming in. And by set pieces, I mean like building pieces and like new theming and all of that is going to be coming. But then we're also going to probably be getting the actual comfort system too. And I think that physics update that we got with the most recent update that we got this massive improvement from, I think that might be connected to it. And they had to implement that so that they could start doing the calculations for comfort and all of that going forward. So pretty exciting news there. Now, the things that we don't know whether or not they're for sure coming into the Homestead patch or not, the developers have spoken a lot towards specialization in Pax Dei recently. Now, mostly they've spoken about specialization when it comes to things like crafting, and that you'd be able to kind of specialize in certain directions, and that would allow you to maybe be able to ensure that you get rare relics back on fails more regularly. But I also think that this would at some point expand our opportunities and things that we can craft and maybe even get higher levels. From all the different developer images that we've seen previously, we also know that there is the legendary and epic quality of gear as well that can be crafted. So maybe those specializations are tied in with that. But the Homestead Verse feels like a verse that they would at least be setting the groundwork, if not introducing maybe some specializations as well. And that is definitely up there on kind of the wish list of things to be coming in verse 6. Other things that we know are in the works, improvements to jewel crafting and how that leveling progression works, as well as just generically the whole system of jewel crafting. It doesn't do anything right now. I mean, the only thing that jewel crafting does is, like, for example, if you're in PvP and you die, then the jewelry could be the stuff that breaks instead of your actual gear, but it's kind of all random. It doesn't give you any item power. It certainly doesn't give you any stats or benefits. So it just kind of sits there. It's definitely cosmetic, but that's about it. So hopefully, along with the Homestead update, we'll also be getting more content coming when it comes to crafting balances for the other disciplines like alchemy and jewel crafting, for example, as well as cooking too. Now, with all of that being said, I think that these might be tied together if we're getting the comfort system with the ability to craft additional things, as well as the ability to specialize or, diversify the types of things that you are actually able to craft. Other than that, I know that in the long foregone past, the developers have also spoken towards parishes and knighthoods and the feudal houses and that whole system. And it definitely went through a rework based on player feedback. And I think that's why alliances got pushed back from when we thought we were going to get them around the February-March timeframe to now all the way in what I would expect is to be around July or August, somewhere in the summertime. So yeah, those are kind of the like parish, I think, would also be tied in with alliances, because you can have a parish, you can have a feudal house. Those are different types of clans basically that can organize players together. So all of those I think are still coming in alliances. It doesn't make sense for it to come in homesteads explicitly, but it's definitely a welcome addition. Now, we also know that NPC aggro is being worked on. I feel like if we're collecting the feedback on it and we just finished collecting the feedback on it, that might be getting pushed out to a minor update instead of just being the actual homestead update, but who knows? And that really ultimately kind of feeds into all of the things that I think are coming in homestead. The other potential that we've seen in a long, far off roadmap at one point in time before things got shifted around also would be farming and being able to have, they showed examples of like little farm plots previously. And when I say plots, I mean more like pots specifically. So, tiny little things that you could then grow certain resources out of. But besides that, they didn't really talk about it anymore. That might be something that's coming in the homestead update, but I would still think that that's something kind of far out. They mentioned multiple times that this year is them focusing on really fleshing out all of their systems and making Pax Dei the incredible, strong core game with all of the gameplay loops involved before they start expanding things. And farming might honestly be considered expanding because it would be an entirely new skill set that you could level up, like agriculture or something like that. So nevertheless, I just wanted to talk about a couple of the things that I was excited about coming in verse 6, but I would love to hear what you think is coming in verse 6 down in the comments below. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe so you can get notified whenever we come out with new Pax Dei or Pax Dei related content, and share this video with any of your friends who are looking to stay up to date with all things Pax Dei. I'm looking forward to getting some news next week. And until then, I'm Altari, the Professional Gamer.